Are you sure the foods you eat every day are truly good for your health? The truth may shock you, because what seems healthy might actually be silently destroying your immune system, triggering inflammation, messing with your blood pressure, and accelerating the aging process. In today's podcast, we're exposing the hidden dangers of everyday foods, especially for those with slower metabolism, weaker digestion, or anyone pursuing healthy aging as a lifestyle goal. Don't skip this. The older you get, the more sensitive your body becomes to what you eat. What you put on your plate today could determine your quality of life for the next decade. And this isn't just about dieting, it's about understanding and improving your senior diet to keep your brain sharp, your joints strong, and your body resilient. From food seniors should avoid to smart ingredient swaps, this episode offers you a full guide to optimizing nutrition for seniors. You'll learn why seemingly harmless items like soy sauce, cookies, and boxed juice might be silently fueling stroke risk, arthritis, or insomnia. And if you care about senior health tips, elderly nutrition, or are simply looking for small changes with big impact in your elderly wellness journey, you're in the right place. This is Health First 365, your trusted YouTube channel for weekly health advice, backed by science and designed for real life. From nutrition and movement to natural disease prevention, we've got you covered. So hit that subscribe button. And now, let's dive into 7 food categories that seem healthy but could be surprisingly harmful if you're not paying attention. Have you ever wondered why the same food can make one person feel energized while leaving another bloated, uncomfortable, or fatigued for hours? The answer lies in how our bodies digest and absorb nutrients, a process that changes significantly as we age. One of the earliest shifts happens in stomach acid production. This acid is crucial for breaking down protein and absorbing key nutrients like iron, calcium, and vitamin B12. As acid levels drop, the digestive system slows, and deficiencies start to appear, leading to anemia, bone loss, and long-term fatigue. Then there's the liver and kidneys, the body's main detoxifiers. With age, their ability to filter and eliminate toxins weakens. If your diet still includes high levels of salt, sugar, or saturated fats, your body may struggle to clear the harmful buildup, increasing your risk for chronic disease. Your intestines also slow down. Sluggish bowel movements aren't just inconvenient, they contribute to constipation, which can seriously affect daily comfort and overall wellness. Taste and smell begin to dull. To compensate, many people add more salt or sugar to their meals just to feel flavor again. But that quick fix can spike blood pressure, damage the heart, or destabilize blood sugar. Even saliva, something we rarely think about, becomes less abundant. This makes chewing and swallowing harder, turning mealtime from a pleasure into a challenge. All of these changes might be subtle at first, but together, they dramatically reshape how your body handles food. That's why adopting a smarter, more supportive approach to eating, one rooted in nutrition for seniors, isn't just helpful, it's essential. It's not about deprivation. It's about fueling your body in a way that supports healthy aging, sharpens the mind, strengthens the body, and gives you the energy to keep living fully, every single day. When your diet no longer matches your body's ability to absorb and metabolize nutrients, the consequences go far beyond occasional bloating or fatigue. Over time, even small dietary imbalances can trigger a chain reaction of silent damage, eventually leading to chronic diseases that affect millions worldwide. Let's begin with heart disease and high blood pressure. Diets high in salt, saturated fat, or refined sugar strain the cardiovascular system. Blood vessels lose elasticity, blood pressure rises, and the heart works overtime, raising the risk of heart attack, stroke, and heart failure. Then comes type 2 diabetes, perhaps the most direct result of a diet rich in refined carbs and sugar. The danger is its quiet onset. It often develops without symptoms, but once established, it can affect your eyes, kidneys, nerves, and blood vessels, making management extremely complex. Another critical issue is osteoporosis. As the body absorbs less calcium, vitamin D, and protein, bone density naturally declines. Bones become fragile and prone to fractures, sometimes even from minor falls, which severely limits mobility and independence. Cognitive decline and dementia are other major concerns. Studies show that people with poor diets are more likely to develop neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. Just like the rest of your body, your brain needs nutrients to function. Without them, neural connections weaken, and mental sharpness begins to fade. Lastly, there's the paradox of malnutrition. Many older adults eat enough in terms of calories but still suffer from nutrient deficiencies. Poor absorption, limited food variety, and suboptimal choices can lead to weakened immunity, slower healing, and general frailty. Understanding the connection between food and illness is the first step toward prevention. A balanced diet doesn't just maintain your current health, it acts as powerful, long-term protection against future disease. Group 1. High-sodium foods, salt-rich foods. If we had to name a silent killer in today's modern diet, salt, or more precisely, sodium, would easily top the list. For many, salt is simply the ingredient that makes food taste better. But the truth is, consuming too much sodium daily can turn seemingly harmless meals into a ticking time bomb for your heart. Sodium isn't inherently bad. In fact, our bodies need a small amount of it to maintain fluid balance, transmit nerve signals, and support muscle function. But when intake exceeds safe limits, sodium triggers a cascade of harmful effects, especially for the heart and blood vessels. Picture your blood vessels as a complex system of pipes. Excess salt causes the body to retain water, increasing blood volume and, in turn, raising pressure inside those vessels. High blood pressure is often the first warning sign, but the damage doesn't stop there. Over time, the added pressure wears down artery walls, overworks the heart, and leads to heart failure, stroke, and other life-threatening conditions. What makes it worse is that sodium doesn't just come from the pinch of salt you add while cooking. The bulk of our sodium intake today comes from processed and packaged foods, instant noodles, sausages, canned goods, pickled vegetables, soy sauce, MSG, and factory-made fish sauce. A single pack of instant noodles can contain almost half the daily recommended sodium limit, and that's just one item in an entire day's diet. So what can we do? Do we have to eat bland, tasteless meals forever? Absolutely not. You can replace salt with natural flavor boosters that are both delicious and good for your health. Try garlic, ginger, turmeric, black pepper, shallots, or fresh herbs like basil and rosemary. These ingredients don't just enhance flavor, they offer anti-inflammatory benefits, aid digestion, and support immune health. Reading food labels is key. Look for sodium content, and choose items labeled low sodium or no added salt when possible. Better yet, prepare meals at home where you control what goes into your body. This simple shift, reducing excess salt, can make a profound difference to your blood pressure, your heart health, and your overall longevity. Group 2. Refined sugar foods. If salt is the silent threat to your heart, then refined sugar is the sweet assassin, silently undermining your health from the inside out, often without you even realizing it. Sugar doesn't just expand your waistline, it triggers chronic inflammation, disrupts your metabolism, and accelerates serious diseases, especially in older adults. The truth is, you don't need to be a dessert lover to be consuming too much sugar. Refined sugars are hidden in plain sight, in sodas, cookies, boxed juices, and even some savory packaged foods. A single can of soda may contain up to 7 teaspoons of sugar. That healthy-looking juice? Often stripped of fiber and loaded with empty calories. Regular consumption of these items overloads your system with insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance and becomes a fast track to type 2 diabetes. But it doesn't stop there. Emerging research now shows a clear connection between high sugar intake and cognitive decline. Sugar fuels inflammation throughout the body, including the brain, affecting memory, focus, and increasing the risk of Alzheimer's as early as midlife. Add to that the impacts on joint pain, chronic fatigue, digestive upset, and mood swings, and you begin to see how widespread sugar's reach really is. Does this mean you need to quit sugar entirely? Not quite. Natural sugars still have a role, when chosen wisely and used in moderation. Swap out industrial sweets and sugary drinks for fresh fruits, especially low-glycemic, fiber-rich berries like blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. If you need a touch of sweetness, consider raw honey as a healthier substitute, but only in small amounts and never for those with diabetes. Breaking the sugar habit isn't easy. Sugar is addictive, and often tied to emotional comfort. But if your goal is to maintain a healthy weight, prevent chronic disease, and stay mentally sharp, this is a powerful step in the right direction. Group 3. Saturated and trans fats. After sugar, another quiet culprit we often overlook is saturated fat and trans fat. Unlike healthy fats that nourish your body, these two types act like ticking time bombs, gradually building up in your arteries, weakening your heart and fueling chronic inflammation throughout the body. When consumed in excess, saturated and trans fats raise your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, while lowering HDL cholesterol, the good kind that helps clear your arteries. The result? Plaque buildup, restricted blood flow, and a heart that has to work harder every single day. The problem is, these fats are hidden in many everyday favorites: fatty cuts of meat, crispy chicken skin, margarine, creamy cheeses, French fries, fried chicken, store-bought pastries, and fast food. They're tasty, yes. Addictive, even. But over time, they quietly sabotage your health, especially when your body no longer processes fat as efficiently as it did in your younger years. More than just heart damage, trans fats are now linked to chronic inflammation, a root cause of many age-related illnesses including type 2 diabetes, arthritis, and even cancer. That's why many countries have banned or heavily restricted trans fats in processed foods, a move hailed as a major step forward in public health and healthy aging. Here's the good news: you can take control with a few smart swaps. Instead of deep frying, try baking, steaming, or lightly sautéing with healthy oils. Choose extra virgin olive oil, canola oil, or sunflower oil over animal fats. Include more fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, rich in heart-friendly omega-3s. And don't forget nuts like walnuts, almonds, and flax seeds, full of healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants. Remember, fat isn't the enemy. The key is knowing which kinds to eat, and how much. It's not about eliminating fat, but about making the right choices so every meal fuels not just your hunger, but your long-term health and vitality. Group 4. Hard-to-digest foods. We often focus on what foods are rich in nutrients, but forget an equally important question: what foods are easy to digest? Because not every nutritious food plays nicely with your digestive system, especially as your body becomes more sensitive with age. Hard-to-digest foods can leave you bloated, gassy, sluggish, or nauseous shortly after eating. These effects become even more pronounced in the evening, when your digestive system naturally slows down and your body is preparing for rest, not another round of hard work. The usual suspects include beans like red beans, black beans, and white beans, all high in oligosaccharides, a type of sugar your body struggles to break down. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage contain raffinose, a compound that produces excess gas. Even garlic and onions, while beneficial for heart and immune health, can trigger indigestion, acid reflux, or bloating in sensitive individuals. Then there are spicy and acidic foods, a staple in many Asian diets. Chili, vinegar, citrus juice, or heavily marinated dishes can overstimulate stomach acid production, leading to burning sensations and prolonged digestive discomfort. But this doesn't mean you need to cut them out completely. The issue lies not in the ingredients themselves, but in how and when they're prepared and consumed. Soak beans in water before cooking and change the water multiple times to remove indigestible compounds. For cruciferous veggies, try steaming or lightly boiling instead of eating them raw or stir-fried. Cooking thoroughly, eating smaller portions, and spacing meals throughout the day can go a long way in keeping your digestive system happy. One golden rule to remember: the older you get, the more your gut prefers gentleness. Keep your evening meals light, low in spice, and rich in cooked vegetables. Avoid heavy oils, deep frying, and fiery flavors close to bedtime. Taking care of your gut doesn't just prevent post-meal discomfort, it lays the foundation for your overall health. From immune strength to sleep quality and even mental clarity, wellness begins in the gut. Group 5. Alcohol and caffeinated beverages. After a light dinner, many people enjoy a glass of wine or a cup of coffee to unwind, have conversation, or stay alert. But what seems harmless can actually have surprising effects, especially as the body becomes less efficient at processing substances. Alcohol and caffeine are two sweet culprits that quietly impact health, particularly in midlife and beyond. Let's begin with alcohol. Whether it's a light beer or a glass of red wine, all alcohol must be filtered and processed by the liver. As we age, liver function slows, meaning alcohol stays in the system longer. This increases the risk of liver damage, inflammation, and eventually cirrhosis. Worse, alcohol also impairs balance and reflexes, raising the risk of falls, especially at night, when such accidents can be dangerous or even life-threatening. Another concern that's often overlooked is alcohol's interaction with medication. From blood pressure pills to heart medications and sedatives, Combining alcohol with prescriptions can amplify side effects or trigger unexpected reactions, many of which can be harmful, or even fatal. Now let's talk caffeine, the loyal friend of early risers and night owls. While caffeine boosts alertness, it's not without consequences. As we age, the body breaks down caffeine more slowly, allowing it to linger in the bloodstream. The result? Insomnia, elevated heart rate, and even spikes in blood pressure. A single afternoon coffee could leave you tossing and turning through the night, disrupting your sleep cycle and recovery. Caffeine also increases stomach acid production, making acid reflux and digestive discomfort worse for sensitive individuals. So if you're struggling with sleep, indigestion, or unstable blood pressure, caffeine might be the silent contributor you've overlooked. What's the solution? Not total elimination, just smart moderation. For alcohol, health authorities recommend no more than 1 standard drink per day for women and 2 for men, roughly 330 milliliters of beer or 100 milliliters of wine. For caffeine, the safe limit is around 200 milligrams per day, about 1 to 2 small cups of coffee. Try switching to caffeine-free herbal teas, water with lemon or mint, or a light green tea in the morning. These alternatives not only refresh and hydrate the body, but also support relaxation, sleep quality, and heart health. Sometimes, changing just one drink can make a big difference for your liver, your heart, your sleep, and your overall quality of life. Group 6. Purine-rich foods. If you've ever experienced sudden sharp pain in your joints, especially in the big toe, chances are you've encountered one of the most painful consequences of a purine-rich diet, gout. But gout is only the tip of the iceberg. Excess purines in your meals can silently raise uric acid levels, contributing to kidney stones, joint inflammation, and even high blood pressure. Purine is a naturally occurring compound found in many foods. On its own, it's not harmful, as long as the body can efficiently break it down and flush it out. But as liver and kidney function begins to decline, a common occurrence in midlife and older adults, the body struggles to eliminate uric acid. Over time, uric acid crystallizes into sharp, needle-like structures that lodge in the joints, triggering painful gout attacks. A purine-rich diet typically includes foods that may appear delicious or nutritious. Organ meats, like liver, heart, and kidneys, seafood, such as shrimp, crab, sardines, anchovies, and red meat like beef and lamb. While these foods are high in protein and flavor, they also pose a high risk of uric acid buildup if not properly metabolized. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up animal protein completely. The key is making smarter choices. Opt for lower purine, more digestible alternatives like salmon, carp, eggs, skinless poultry, or low-fat dairy. These options provide high-quality protein, essential omega-3s, calcium, and nutrients, without overstressing your uric acid levels. Don't forget the power of hydration. Drinking enough water daily supports kidney function and helps flush out uric acid through urine. When paired with a balanced, low-purine diet, this simple habit can significantly reduce the risk of gout flares, kidney stones, and related complications. Understanding which foods silently accumulate toxins in your body gives you the power to choose differently, not just for short-term relief, but for long-term joint protection, mobility, and vitality. Group 7. Processed and industrial foods. There's a group of foods you can grab in seconds. No cooking, no prep, no fuss. They're tempting because they're quick, tasty, addictive, and tailor-made for modern busy lifestyles. But for that very reason, processed and industrial foods have quietly become one of the most damaging threats to long-term health, slowly, silently, and persistently. Think sausages, smoked meats, fast food, chips, packaged snacks. What they all share is this: long shelf life, heavy processing, and a heavy dose of chemical additives. To preserve texture, enhance color, improve taste, and extend expiration dates, manufacturers rely on substances your body wasn't designed to handle. Take MSG, for example. While it enhances umami flavor, it can cause headaches, dizziness, or high blood pressure in sensitive individuals. Nitrates and nitrites, common in processed meats, are linked to a higher risk of colorectal cancer. Artificial food dyes, especially in brightly colored snacks, may trigger allergies or digestive issues. And preservatives like BHA and BHT, while useful in preventing spoilage, have been flagged as potential hormone disruptors when consumed over time. What's worse is how stealthy these ingredients can be. Their names aren't always obvious. Sugar may appear as fructose, glucose, maltose, dextrose, or various forms of corn syrup. Sodium hides not just in table salt, but in seasonings, sauces, and instant noodles. Saturated and trans fats might sneak in as shortening or hydrogenated oils. That's why reading food labels isn't just a good habit, it's a survival skill. Go beyond the expiration date. Look closely at ingredient lists. Watch for unfamiliar names. Choose products with short, simple ingredient lists and labels like low sodium, no added sugar, or no artificial preservatives whenever possible. Healthy eating doesn't mean sacrificing convenience. It's about returning to simple, whole foods, minimally processed and free from chemical overload. When you know what your body truly needs and what it should avoid, every meal becomes more than just fuel. It becomes nourishment for a stronger, longer, healthier life. Together, we've just uncovered 7 everyday food categories that may seem harmless but can quietly undermine your health when not properly managed. From salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats to difficult-to-digest foods, alcohol, caffeine, purine-rich items, and ultra-processed snacks, each carries hidden risks, especially for bodies that are becoming more sensitive with age. But here's the truth. It's not about strict rules or punishment. It's about awareness. It's about listening to your body, understanding which foods seniors should avoid, and choosing the kind of nourishment that truly supports your long-term health. A well-balanced senior diet is more than just nutrition. It's a foundation for energy, clarity, mobility, and joy. The journey toward healthy aging doesn't begin in crisis. It begins in the small, mindful choices we make each day. It begins when you swap a processed snack for a handful of nuts, when you read the label just a little closer, or when you cook a meal with real, whole ingredients instead of pre-packaged convenience. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. And those consistent, intentional steps are what will create long-term transformation in your health, your mood, and your life. Here at Health First 365, we believe everyone deserves to feel strong, clear-minded, and vibrant at any age. That's why we're committed to bringing you practical, real-world content on elderly nutrition, nutrition for seniors, senior health tips, and every angle of elderly wellness that supports you through every stage of life. If you found this video valuable, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone you care about. Whether it's a parent, a neighbor, or a friend, knowledge shared is wellness multiplied. And if you're ready to go deeper, check out our next videos. You'll discover more than you expected. Let knowledge be your motivation. Let community be your strength. And let action be the beginning of a life that's healthier, calmer, and more empowered every single day.